This is AJ.
And Shannon. How are you, bud? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How was your weekend?
Great.
Good. It's a little early for us, but we have a special guest on, so we had to do it a little bit earlier. I'm so excited. How about you?
I am too. I'm just now getting to meet this great guest.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She is just that great.
Yeah, she's super cool, amazing, and we're like I said, we're super excited to introduce her to our audience today. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna do it and jump right into it. Let's introduce Miss Jaimie Sherling. She is an amazing advocate and all-around lady badass, and I'm gonna let her tell her story a little bit. So, hi, Jaimie. Nice to see you.
Hi, Shannon. Nice to see you too. Hi, AJ.
Hi. How are you?
You wanna
great.
Do you wanna introduce yourself a little bit since you're so fabulous?
What more can I say? I can't introduce myself better than you can introduce me. So hello, good afternoon, depending on, or good morning or good night, whenever you're wherever you are, wherever you're listening. I am in the Midwest, so it's still the morning for me, barely. Yeah. And I am just excited to be here and talk about whatever they want to talk about, the different things I have going on in my life and things keeping me on my toes.
Yeah, we have amazing things for you, and we're just so blessed and honored to even have you agree to be on the show today. You guys, I have to tell you, when I first met this lady, I didn't know how special she was truly going to be to me, but you know, after connecting a little bit, she is, oh my gosh, I'm going to get emotional. She's really cool, and I just am so excited to introduce you guys to her. So without further ado, like I said, we're gonna jump on into the questions because I know, Jaimie, you have to go a little bit earlier. So we're gonna jump on into it, and I'm gonna just let everybody know how awesome and what a badass you are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put the questions on screen. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can follow along with us. And AJ, can you see them when I share them?
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes you need to be able to see them. So we're gonna do that really quick.
We're good.
All right, we're good? Cool. Okay. Let me go up to the top first.
Scooter. Yeah, there we go.
I'll fix it for you. 1 second. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Gotta give me a minute. Okay. Like I said, at the top of the show, Jaimie is an amazing person. She's a joy seeker, and what I think is super cool is that she is a drag ambassador, and I definitely want to know more about this because I love the drag community. We love the LGBTQ IA plus community here, and I'm really excited to get into some of those questions. So AJ's got the first one over there on his side. Do you want to go for it, AJ?
Oh, I thought you were.
Oh, you want me to do that? Okay, I got it. Okay, so Jaimie, after getting to know you a little bit through social media and our chats, and now your bio that everybody can find on dbtdmedia.com, we know you are a true queen through and through. Tell us more about your amazing life and what it's like to be Jaimie.
It's a roller coaster, that is for sure. I do think my life is a lot like so many other people's lives in that we all have challenges, we all have amazing things that happen to us. And I'm borrowing this term from Glennon Doyle. I think she's amazing. She wrote the book. She wrote multiple books, but the book I fell in love with was Untamed. And she talks about the word brutiful, that life, it's beautiful and it's brutal a lot at the same time. And I feel like that is my life every day. And in the course of a day, there's a beautiful moment and then there's something just brutal and then beautiful and then brutal over and over and over.
AJ, don't we know a lot about that in our life?
Sure do.
I'm sure you do.
Even though you live in Georgia and I live in Florida, we have, you know, obviously having CP, we deal with that every day. And trying to be entrepreneurs, and I'm a parent, and so yeah, there's a lot going on. But yeah, I absolutely love that word. I think I'm gonna start incorporating that into my daily life, because it definitely sounds like
I
something.
use it often, very
Yeah,
often, and I can't. And
love
again,
it.
I never take credit because I didn't come up with it. I know it's Glennon's word, and I'll use it too.
Yep,
Cool.
sure. Okay, AJ, you ready, or you want me to take this one too?
I'll take it.
Okay.
We can already tell you that you are a fantastic
Hey,
advocate,
you're okay. You're okay.
and that
Go ahead.
you have many causes and platforms. Can you tell us more about those and why they are close to your heart?
Very good. Okay.
Sure, I'm happy to. So yes, I feel like I feel very strongly about so many things, and then I want to turn those feelings into action as often as possible. And for me, I think the common theme that is not just one platform, but it leads to platforms within platforms within platforms is inclusion and diversity, and everyone having a space and everyone being valued and welcomed. And one cause that just came to me that I thought you might appreciate, both might appreciate. There, I don't know if either of you appreciate theater. So there's musical theater.
I'm a theater
Yay!
kid.
I love theater. Who doesn't love theater? Not everyone, but a lot of people do. And I think in many cases, growing up, children who have different abilities, maybe they aren't the stars of the show. And I learned about this program. It's called the Penguin Project, where the stars of the show are children and young adults up till 21 who have different abilities. They are the stars and they are paired with mentors.
Love it.
And it's amazing. So feel free after the show, Google Penguin Project, like penguins, penguins, Penguin
Yeah.
Project. And there are different chapters, I guess, or different factors of this Penguin Project. And my teenager has been a mentor for the last 4 seasons, and I got involved a couple of years ago, and I was the choreographer, so I got to be on the parent side of it. But then I had the just privilege and honor to choreograph The
Wow,
Wizard of Oz was the show that I helped choreograph, and it was
what is that? I love
incredible.
AJ, what do you think about it?
It's an awesome idea, and
I love it.
there needs to be more programs like the Peakwood Project.
Yeah.
Agreed.
One of our biggest things too is that, and that's the reason why AJ started this, was there wasn't a source of media where people with disabilities were really seen, and even like podcasts, and now everybody's doing it everywhere, but there's still not one that's focused on the abilities and what we talk about every week. And so he really wanted there to be a space for that, and I think he's done a really good job. And I won't just pat myself on the back for being your co-host or anything, but
Yeah.
Go ahead, pat yourself. Both of you pat yourself on the back.
I think we do a pretty great job with what we do every week. Anyway, I don't want to take away from you and our wonderful guests. So let's go into question 3. On top of all the other hats that you wear, because I know you are a multifaceted person on a daily basis. You are the founder and designer of a clothing line called YDY Sweets. Please tell us more about this endeavor.
Sure. So YDY Sweets, you do you.
Oh,
That's
I
what
love it.
That's the YDY part. You do you. Because the clothing line is about you making the best choice for yourself, you living your best life. And this line originated back in 2018. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I decided to have a double mastectomy, and I did not have any reconstructive surgery. So for most women, they have a body part that I do not have. I have scars, 2 scars on my chest wall now.
No, you
And
are, don't even oh my gosh, you're beautiful. So what?
so what? Exactly.
Okay, you have to wear a bra and all this shit. It's not cool. Don't wear
You know, I am enjoying this summer not wearing one. Like I'm grateful to not wear one. But what I found was a lot of my clothes that I wore prior to didn't fit anymore. So if you have a V cut, the V goes really, really, it goes lower than it's supposed to, or things just didn't look right. And so I searched and searched, and I can find clothes that some fit better than others, but there is not a clothing line until mine. There is not a clothing line that is specifically designed for women in this scenario. It just doesn't exist. So I thought, well, I'll work on this. And I don't know how to sew, but I worked with a pattern maker, and I had the designs. I had the things in my head, and then I worked with a pattern maker to come up with the actual clothing line itself.
And you know what the coolest thing I think about that is that, you know, you found something, again, like we talked about AJ, you found something that was needed and you made it happen. You know, that's how a lot of great things just start. It comes out of your head and onto paper, and it's now it's delicious, and I'm sure everybody that has something from YDY loves it. And you know, we need more people like you every day. We really do. It's just amazing what you're doing, and I love the fact that you are unashamed, and you're, like I said, it's just, and because a lot of women, like you also said, that they would be embarrassed, and you rock it. And girl, I am not the biggest chest, but I rock my body every day that I can. So I'm super proud.
You do that.
Yeah, I'm super proud, and I want to, you know, elaborate on why do I, you know, maybe off camera, but I want to, let's talk a little bit more about it. Talk about, has there been people that, what's the feedback been from YDY, and is it still, you know, in existence today, or how's that?
It is in existence. The feedback has been very positive, but what I have found that the way I created my line, the price point is pretty high, and I do think that is a barrier for women, which I completely understand. And I completely understand because these women, well, they probably have pretty high medical bills that they're focusing on. And if they're having a surgery, maybe they're having extra surgeries, maybe they have chemotherapy, and they have their medical bills, that having an article of clothing that's more of a designer piece might not be the forefront. So I have at least a couple of my sales went as gifts, which that might be more because someone could buy it for someone else. And
Right.
I don't know about you, Shannon, but sometimes I think women, not to leave you out, AJ, but I think women sometimes have this internal message that it's harder to treat ourselves because, well, I have to spend money on the kids and I have to spend money on everybody else but me.
Woo, girl, don't I know? Don't I know? Just learning that at 40 years old. Just learning how to maybe spend a little bit money on me, and not so much my kids and my family and my husband and my bills and my life. Yeah, I get that. I get
Right.
that. Just now learning it. I just turned 40 in April, and I'm honestly I'm just there. Like, I'm just there, and giving more time to myself than I do so much other people. But you know, you gotta live from a full cup. So you know,
Absolutely.
you can't pour from an empty one for everybody.
That's right. You can't give to anybody else if your cup's empty.
Exactly. Well, I really want to get into the next question, because this is your future. This is your right now. This is your baby, and I'm so proud that you're talking about it on the show, and we actually will get to be a little bit involved in that. I just can't wait. So we know that you have a great book launch. We know that you have a great book set to launch in September, called From Queens to Queens: How the Madison Drag Community Saved My or Your Life. Can you tell us? Can you tell the audience a little bit more about the book / launch? And what's the overall message you want people to take away from the book?
Yes, I'd love to. So From Queens to Queens, it is a memoir. So it is autobiographical. It is about me. It is about my life. And that is exciting and terrifying simultaneously for people. There are people going to know a lot about my life, even friends who don't who don't know all the stories. And it really focuses on the last 4 years of my life. So it touches on my cancer journey. It touches on all the ups and downs that go along with that, the relationships, and how those some relationships changed, some new relationships, how they evolved, and who are the people who are by my side. And really, at the end of the day, so this drag community in Madison, Wisconsin, that's where I live,
Love
they they were there for me when I was at my lowest. And really, this book in part is a love letter to them and to say thank you to them for being there for me.
Yay!
And you also asked the overall message. I'd say, if possible, however you can in life, you can find your community, quote, your people, the people who are going to be there for you, the people who are going to love you unconditionally, the people who are going to support you. However you can, if you can find them, hang on to them. And you might find them in a place that you don't expect.
Yeah. You just said something that speaks volumes to me, because there are so many people that have come in and out of my life. And you, for example, like, I haven't even gotten into the fact that, we connected. Just by chance, AJ and I were going to do the big climb for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and we had an emergency situation that we could not do it that day. But I've been in contact with you and stayed in contact with you, and I also have a family member that's going through cancer for the 4th time. I watched my grandpa just go through this, and he's so, his spirits are still high. Yeah, he has bad days, of course, but his spirits are so high. He's like, dude, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do it. And, that's what it takes. That's what it takes every day. And we have people around him, and our family just love on him. And I get to now love on you, and I get to hear your stories, and we're moving into the next question, which I'm so, like, every time I open your social media on Friday, I'm looking for the new outfit, because I'm like, what is this girl gonna wear today? Because you rock it on Fridays.
You never know what you're gonna wear.
I'm keeping people guessing, AJ.
It's always a surprise.
Not only do you rock it every day, but on Friday you take Formal Fridays to a whole new level. And I'm excited to introduce the concept of Formal Fridays to everybody, because everybody thinks about, casual Friday in the workplace. I think that was kind of a twist on that, I'm assuming. But Jaimie does Formal Fridays, and I'm so excited to tell people about it. So that moves us into the next question. AJ, you want to take it, or you want me to take this one?
Since you're so you can
okay.
take this one.
Because I know why. Because you want to take the next one, because the next one's a big one too. He wants to throw his hat in the ring on the next one.
Yes.
So I'll take this one. But we adore, AJ and I adore seeing your Formal Friday post, quote unquote, on your social media. Do you mind telling us how that idea came about and why exactly you do it?
I'm happy to. And first, I will say I do not rock it every day of the week. So I shine up when I want to, but then a lot of days I'm in my pajamas and laying real low. So Formal Friday, I cannot take credit for this idea, and I never will. I mean, I'd love to, but I can't. So it back in April of 2020. So if we remember, the beginning of the end times a bit, I had someone who I had met at a networking event months prior.
Yeah.
She popped up on LinkedIn with a video, and she had a red gown and jewels, and this gown had a cape. And I thought, what is happening? So I watched this video, and she says, hello, everybody. It's Formal Friday. And again, this is April of 2020, when a lot of us were either working from home, kind of in a lockdown somewhat situation, depending on where you lived in the country, and where we were definitely supposed to be safe at home. So she said, we're wearing yoga pants and sweatpants too much, and we are fashionistas, and this isn't okay. And it's actually hurting the fashion industry, who we love. So I challenge you to dress up formal Friday. The other days of the week, wear yoga pants, but every Friday. And I loved the idea. And I thought, I got to try this. So why not? So sure enough, the next week I tried my first formal Friday. I happened to have a little gown in my closet that I worn to many events, and popped that on, took a picture. And I really only thought I'd do it for 4 or 6 weeks. We didn't know what the pandemic was going, at least I sure didn't know what the pandemic was really going to be like. So I thought I would just do it for a while until we were done being safer at home. And last Friday was the 69th consecutive Friday I've done it.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is crazy, but here we are.
I'm telling you, I look forward to now every Friday popping up in your social media and looking at Jaimie's picture. And I think, even through your journey now, watching you have such a great spirit about it and just be such a light, to not only yourself but to everybody around you, because know that I get peace out of it, and I smile every time I see it. So
I do hear that, and that's
to you. I say thank you, and girl, keep rocking those great outfits and those very unique outfits. Sometimes I must say, but I love it. So
yes.
Go ahead.
For the audience that she might be referring to, last Friday, my skirt was a trash bag, and it was kind of an inside joke with one of my longtime family friend. And yeah, so I had makeup and heels, but yes, the skirt was a trash bag.
I love that. Like, you. I love it.
Thank you.
Have you seen any other people that have taken your advice and started to do it based off of what they see off your social media?
Have other people kind of?
Yeah, I did. So 2 friends, my friend Brandy did it for a while, but one of my favorites, my friend John, who is a bit older than me, and father, and has grown children. And I hopped onto social media. It was I think it was just after Christmas, and I see a post that I'm tagged in, and there's John, and he's wearing a suit, and he's standing in front of his Christmas tree at home. he kept those formal Fridays up for weeks, and it just made me so happy. I was thrilled every week that he did it.
I think one of the reasons why I got so thrilled about it is it kind of took me back to my grandpa, because my grandpa is a very dapper man, and he loves his suits and his ties, and he still goes out, God bless his soul, even through everything that he's been through and all the mess that he's been through medically, but he still can get dressed up and look pretty spiffy. So, and he loves it. He loves style. He loves taking pictures. So it just reminds me, even though I don't always talk to him every day, it just kind of makes me smile, and I'm reminded of the people that really, even in adversity and even in times of despair, you guys can make something so amazing out of something that is not so amazing. So kudos to you, and I will always love that, and I will always support it. And I think, AJ, that in honor of that, the DBTD needs to start taking formal photos every Friday. What do you think?
I'm here for it.
Sure do.
I love it.
We'll post on our Facebook page, and we encourage all of our listeners to do the same thing. And just get with it. Get with Formal Friday, because DBTD loves it, and we're going to start doing it. So I know AJ has been waiting all show, and even before. He just, I don't know, he just adores this question. And he said to me before the show, he's like, from now on, that's my question. Every time we interview someone, I'm like, okay. So now, AJ, we're gonna move on to your favorite question of the show. So go ahead, go with it, AJ.
Uh, here at DBTD, one of the biggest things we advocate is inclusion. Uh,
Go ahead.
we also know within the disability community, sometimes this word can mean different things to different people. What does inclusion mean to you?
That is a great question. I put some good thought into this because it's a question that needs to be asked. So thank you for asking me. And inclusion to me means representation. It means visibility. It means being included. So I thought of just kind of an example, having a seat at the table. And I use table, air
Yes.
quotes, if you're listening to this. So having a seat at the table, meaning in the workplace, in your community, in schools, that every person can be represented and have a seat at the table. But then
Yes.
I like to think inclusion is actually a one step further than that not only do you have a seat at the table, you have access to the seat at the table. So do you have a way, do you have space to get your wheelchair up to that table? Do you also feel that you are heard? Is it a culture where you feel that your voice is heard, that you can speak your mind, and that what you have to say is valued?
Yay!
I could not have said it any better myself.
I mean, there's no better way. I mean, I think we have asked about, we've asked about 6 different people since we formulated the question. We've asked about six different guests the same question, and I think yours is one of the best answers we've gotten. So, yay for that! Honestly, I mean, seriously, no. That's what this show was built on. Was the idea of inclusion, and so we love to hear other people's take on it. And I mean, I think you got it. You hit the nail right on the head when you said just everything. A seat at the table. Those are things that we want to hear people say.
But,
Access.
that has to be one of the most concise answers
Yeah.
to that question I've ever heard or gotten on this show.
Yes.
Thank you, AJ. That's so kind.
We hope that people can take away from this show that that's exactly what we try to give every week. So you just pinpointed everything that we try to do every week is give access to people, let people feel like they have a voice and a seat at the table, proverbially. But we love it, and yeah, there's just nothing else I think we could say about that one. So she covered it pretty well, AJ. Can we move on now?
Yes.
Okay.
Knocked that one out of the park.
Oh, thanks, AJ.
Yeah, I'll run with that one, Jaimie. And I'm super excited to kind of ask you this question. I did some research, and I feel like I'm a very well-versed advocate, and I have friends in the LGBTQIA plus community, so I felt like I kind of knew, but I wanted to make sure that that I got this right. So we know that you are a proud member and advocate of the LGBTQIA plus community. So, and we love that here, like we've already said. But can you talk about some of the issues that this great community still faces in the year 2021, and that might need more focus or attention? And how, as a society, can we do more to advocate?
That could be 3 more shows.
Well, I mean, hey, you're welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you.
You're on our VIP list. So if you want to make those, we are more than willing to do that.
Yes.
When I was thinking about this question, I kept thinking back to the last question. Is access,
Mhm.
having a voice. And I think I am just dumbfounded in so many situations that there is still so much discrimination against the LGBTQIA plus community, and thinking about that someone isn't going to feel safe to be out publicly at work, thinking they might, maybe they could lose their job, or even if they don't lose their job, they might feel like they aren't heard, or that they feel less than by other people in their workplace. So I feel like the discrimination, there's the overt discrimination, but then there's also the kind of unseen, swept under the rug discrimination that's just as more, if not more damaging.
Yeah.
There, when it comes to health, when you get your healthcare appointments, the I think a lot of different communities are underrepresented and don't receive the care they should. But I think specifically about the trans community, my trans siblings, trans women, and trans men who sometimes don't even have the access to the care that they could. And then when they're in appointments, they're being misgendered, they're being talked down to, and just the struggle to have a physical checkup is a struggle that, as I am cisgender and I don't feel that, and sometimes can take it for granted, that going to quote a simple doctor appointment isn't simple for them.
It's never simple. I mean, and even it's kind of funny that you referred back to the last question I asked about, or the last question AJ asked about inclusion, because it is so funny how they kind of coincide and collide together, because both communities kind of, without taking away one from the other, kind of experience the same type of things in different ways. Because the disability community, one of the biggest things that we're dealing with is, a lot of us only have Medicaid. And if you know anything about Medicaid, it sucks. So, not being seen or heard at the doctor because you have a disability, or, you might have a speech impediment, or, I'm gonna, AJ, I hope you don't mind, but if
No.
and I know you don't, because you're you and you don't care, but, and you're a great advocate for it. But, if I go into a doctor's appointment, I can voice exactly what is going on with me and exactly what is happening. And I can be seen because I say, hey, like, this is what I need. But AJ, he can and he wants to, but a lot of people don't take the time to understand what he's saying. And that's not his fault. That's just part of his disability, and that's part of what makes him him. But if people don't get it, they're never going to get it. You know what I mean? And that's why we love him. Go ahead.
Oh, no, finish.
That's why we love having people on like you that get it completely. And like, even though we're from two different communities, I really feel like you do get it. And, AJ could walk into an appointment with you and you could say, hey, listen to him, or hey, understand, or hey, take a minute and hear him out. Because AJ,
Yes.
be honest, how many times have you told me I get so frustrated because people don't understand me?
About a million.
Yeah,
Oh,
like it is like, and if you just take the time, you realize that he's a really amazing person, and he has thoughts and feelings, and he needs to express those things. And so, especially going to a doctor, if there's something going on with him and they're going to overlook him, that's unfair.
But for a doctor to not judge, but discount a person for being who they are, is wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong, but it's still, even like we're talking about, even in 2021, it happens, and it's wrong that they're going to judge or look down upon somebody just because of their choices, and who they are and who they want to be. And
so,
go ahead.
What would you say leads to, how do we go about fixing that?
That's a great question.
Advocate more for you know, society or for that particular community, because we love everybody.
Well, that's the first thing is love everybody. I feel like it shouldn't be that complicated. But something you said, Shannon, about understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I've definitely learned more. So I feel like I was an ally to the LGBT community when I was a young child, and I had friends who were gay, and it was like, oh, they're gay. I know them. And it
Okay,
was
whatever, yeah.
part of life. But I will say I've learned a lot more about the trans community just in the last few years from having met people and knowing people. And that's, I think, part of it is being open to learning.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know I'm grateful. My employer in June, there was a large education piece during Pride Month.
Mhm.
And I hope that more and more companies and organizations are doing that. And then that the employees are taking advantage. Do you know why Pride Month exists? And I'll admit I didn't know. So I've learned, where did Pride come from? What are some of the discriminations that people face? So I think the first piece is just learning, because maybe you don't know. If someone doesn't know, so you know better, and then hopefully you do better after that.
Right. But have the ability to have an open mind is like the number one piece in my book, because, like I said, this is 2021. Get your life if you don't understand that other people think differently than you do, or have a different type of life, and that's okay. Like we all don't want to be robots. Like each and every person is an individual, and whatever individual choices, however you want to live, you not judge, because it's very hard for us as a disability community, and we're a minority because we're disabled, so or we're within the disability community. So how could we judge anyone else? Because they're another minority group that we need to support and love on and show care for,
Exactly.
and just be allies and be friends with. I can't tell you how many of my very best friends are part of the LGBTQIA plus
Me
community.
Me as
I really,
well.
and they are some of the greatest people you will ever know,
Exactly.
and they are the most accepting. So how could I ever be judgmental towards you in any way?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my take on it, but that's the way I feel, and we support that completely here. So, and we love you. We love you. So, anyway, moving on. AJ, I think you have, let's see. Yeah, you have the last one. Oh, or actually, do you want me to do this one? And then you can kind of close us out, because I know Jamie's got to get going here shortly.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm doing fine on time. Don't rush on my account.
Okay. So, so far we've covered a lot on the show today. But I know we've only scratched the surface of your fantasticness. So tell us more about what's in your future, and how people can stay connected. And let's not forget about your book launch on September 15th.
You got it.
Where they can purchase the book. And here we have a special announcement, because we're so excited that we're going to be able to say we're going to partner up with Jaimie, and we're going to put a link on our website to her book when it launches, and we're going to be able to share that with you guys and share the book with you guys. So if you want to find out where to get the book, go straight to DBTD Media and you can find it there. And yeah, you can help her out that way, because we're so excited. First of all, I have to tell you, I'm so excited to read the book, because when you told me, I was like, okay, I have to have a copy first to read it, and then I want to help you. So let's do this. So yeah, you guys, we're gonna big announcement here, and we'll talk a little bit about that before the end of the show. We're going to team up with Jaimie and help sell her book. So, but first of all, tell everybody where they can find you, what's going on with you, what's your future like, and where they can purchase the book otherwise.
Absolutely. And I'm so honored that you are just so excited with this book that you haven't read yet. So I'm like, I hope you like it, but hopefully you will. Hopefully you'll enjoy it and you'll love it.
Oh my goodness,
So
I know we will.
my focus really in the near future is this book. I put a lot of effort into writing it. I started writing it really without complete plans of writing a book in September of 19, just kind of writing stories, little bits. And truly, this book exists for me because of the pandemic. It was, I had lots, as most of us, many of us did, just so much time completely by myself, staying at home and too much time alone with my thoughts. So I had worked and got those thoughts into this story. And so I'm gonna be focusing on having events. I'm excited to get into bookstores that will have me. I'm excited to be on podcasts like this one. So yay. This is my first podcast that I get to talk about the book. So
Really,
you're the VIPs. You two are the real VIPs.
we're honored. And isn't there something you're doing with Amazon that you want to be the bestseller within 24 hours? Can you tell everybody about that?
Yes, I'm so grateful to authors who have given me ideas. I have been so blessed with people who succeed and then they want to pass their success on. So I love that and I'm so very grateful. So September 15th is a big day. And starting really at midnight, so all of September 15th, that one day, I want to gear everybody to go to Amazon.com. And it's From Queens to Queens, How the Madison Drag Community Saved My Life.
Yes.
And
I said that, didn't I say your book title?
You did.
Okay, I don't want to make sure I did.
Oh, you sure did. Yes, you did. And the goal is that I could drive as many people on that one day that if I hit the bestseller number for my specific category, then I would have the honor to share with people that my book is an Amazon bestseller. So I figure we're going to go for it. We're going to try and see what happens.
I'm so excited. And, you know, like I said, guys, one of the places you can find her book, or at least a link to Amazon the first 24 hours, is going to be, and we're so honored to even have her say yes to us, because when I asked, I wasn't sure what she would say, but we're so honored to be able to even talk about her book on the website. And you can find it at dbtdmedia.com. So please, if you are interested in today's show and you want to know more about Jaimie and her fantastic book when it comes out, please visit the DBTD Media website. We'll direct you to Amazon, or if you want to buy a book directly from us, we're actually getting a shipment of books to help you.
I do have a question regarding your book. Are you planning to put the book on audio?
Oh, look at the big question, AJ.
Whoa. Okay. Can you say that one more time, please?
Are you planning to release the book for audio?
Audio use.
Oh, that's the question. Oh, AJ, you're not the person to ask. Not yet. Not immediately. I am not opposed to that, but the way my first initial plan is with my publishers, that's going to be paperback to start. So it'll be paperback and paperback only. Maybe audio down the road, but not initially.
Okay.
Well,
that is the $1 million question.
We're going to help you get there so that you can, because I know because of some different projects that I have in the works. I know sometimes building a book can be a little bit taxing, so I understand. So we're going to help you get there so that you can put that into audio form. So,
I have also published a book, so I don't know how difficult it is to publish.
Congratulations to you, because yes, that is, it's a ride. It's a major accomplishment. So congrats, AJ.
You too.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Shannon, you asked about following me. So if people are just too intrigued by my Formal Fridays, if you follow me, Jaimie Sherling on Instagram. So, and if you're looking at the screen, it's just how it spells. I have 2 I's in my name, like in my head.
Yes.
So my name is Jaimie. If you spell my first name wrong, you won't find me.
You don't know how many times my Google was like, I'm not sending her this email because you didn't put 2 I's in your name. And I thought, oh shit, I was looking at it and I totally wrote it wrong. My bad. But you got
Shannon, can I tell you something funny about my name being misspelled?
Yes, ma'am.
One time, my dad, so my biological father, had my name spelled wrong on a card for me.
Well,
So it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, it happens to people spell it with a C. Sometimes people spell it with an E-N. I'm like, no, just the old-fashioned spelling. Thanks, it's okay. But yeah, Jaimie, again, it's fantastic. I've enjoyed getting to know her a little bit more than I had expected to. And like I said, our journey as friends started a couple months ago. AJ and I were going to do the big climb for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And you guys, if I could tell you anything to take away from today's show, take away from Jaimie's spirit, because Jaimie is an amazing, amazing spirited person. And when I say she's a lady badass, she really, really is. And her
is truly that.
Yeah, her spirit inspires myself, and I know she inspires other people around her. And please, please go buy her book when it comes out on September 15th. We support her. We love her. We're going to be pushing her book every show. Jaimie, thanks again for coming on. We love you, and you're welcome back anytime. And stay on just a little bit because I want to talk to you for just a second after the show. But you guys, I know she's got to run really quick. So let's say bye to Jaimie super fast. And then I think we are going to do some back of the house stuff and thank our sponsors, and then we will wrap it up.
Thank you so much, Shannon and AJ, for having me. I love you both, and I am honored to be a guest. So thank you.
Come back, please. Come back, please.
Okay.
Oh, and like I said, I'm coming to Madison. You're taking me to a drag show.
Oh, you know it. I have just the place. I will take you to 5 Nightclub, and you will have an amazing time.
We are doing it. We are doing it. Yes, we are.
Awesome.
Okay, guys. And with that, I think we want to thank our sponsors and supporters for today's show, right, AJ? Who you got over there?
First off, we want to thank the Greenbound Support Services and the 6th Annual Cerebral Palsy Conference.
That's right. That's just around the corner on October 1st and 2nd, right?
Right.
And guess what else?
What's that?
We're going to be there, but you know why? Because this year we're going virtual. Everything is virtual for this conference for 2 days full of jam-packed. We've got jam-packed networking experiences. We've got outsourcing.
Breakouts.
Yeah, we've got great. I know they've got great breakout sessions going on, and they've got award-winning speakers. So guess it's just awesome. Everybody's going to be able to be there. Everybody's going to be able to be included, and it's all from the comfort of your own home. So guess what, AJ? You get to wear those famous pajamas of yours. I'm so excited.
I get to stay comfortable.
Yeah, you get to stay comfortable. And you guys, you know what? Registration is happening now, and it's completely free. So head on over to cerebralpalsy.org. Reserve your spot today. Go ahead.
It's Cerebral Palsy Conference.
Oh, that's right. cerebralpalsyconference.org, and reserve your spot today. And we'll see you there. Who else is our great sponsor today, AJ?
We also want to thank our friends at Friendly Shoes.
That's right.
Keeping us stylish on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
With their comfortable, easy to wear shoes.
Accessible.
Accessible.
That's
shoes.
right.
Thanks to Ryan and Joseph and all the team over at Friendly Shoes.
Yep. And remember that if you want to go pick up a pair of Friendly Shoes, you can head on over to pattyandricky.com and use our code DBTD10 to get 10% off your entire order. And that's another one we want to thank our great supporter, pattyandricky.com. They're the internet's biggest accessible adaptive marketplace for accessible clothing, jewelry, shoes, like friendly shoes. So make sure you go over to pattyandricky.com, use our code DBTD10, and get 10% off your entire order. You guys, that's amazing. Again, make sure you're joining us October 1st and 2nd for the 6th annual Cerebral Palsy Conference, sponsored by Green Mountain Services of Vermont. And I think that's it for today, guys.
Thanks to our guest. And remember, guys, don't burn the day.
That's right. You guys have a great week. We'll see you later. We'll see you next week. And remember, don't burn the day. Bye, Age.
Bye.